Hello and welcome to your walk around of your new Kia Ceed sports wagon. So what we're going to do is just start off with the key. If it focuses, it probably won't. There we go. You've got your lock, unlock and your boot, and then you've also got your key that springs out at the push of the silver button as well. Okay, so if we unlock the car, come in, excuse me. Right, first and foremost, you've got your height adjustment there, which is spring loaded, like so. We've also got your wheel that twists and alters the back of the seat, and then you've also got your bar to move the seat forwards and backwards. Okay, so if we get in, there we go. So to start the car, we're going to want to put our foot on the clutch. Always put your foot on the clutch, insert the key, and then twist as you'd expect. And we want to turn the radio down, turn the radio off. Right, first and foremost, I should have mentioned this before, but your latch for the bonnet is just down there by your right foot. Okay, and then on the driver's door, we've got your 4 electric windows. We've got your window lock, so people can't open the window from the back if you've got that down. And then you've got your wing mirror adjustment. So you've got L for left, R for right, and it just slides like that. And then you can use the 4 buttons to adjust the wing mirror. Again, I'm just using those 4 buttons there. Okay, so that's your driver's door. Now you've got a couple of buttons down here, which is, if you can see where I am, just behind the steering wheel. You've got a vehicle with a squiggly line. That's essentially your traction control, so I wouldn't worry about pushing that one too much unless you plan on doing donuts in the snow. You've got your tyre pressure warning light set, so if one of the tyre pressures is down, the car will detect it and you'll have a nice orange light appear on the dash, and it will look exactly like, if I zoom in a bit, the light will look exactly like that does. So it's like a horseshoe with an exclamation mark. Okay, so if that comes on, excuse me, if that comes on, take it to a garage or, you know, a tyre pressure unit and just double check your tyre pressures. If they're low, pump them back up to what they're supposed to be, and then you can push and hold that button and that will then remove the light for you. Okay, then you've got your lane departure warning. Excuse me. This one here, what that does is it monitors the white line as you're driving along. If you go near the white line, it will beep at you and slightly pull you back in just into the middle of the road. You might feel slight tension on the steering wheel. Personally, I don't like this because I live in mid Wales and the roads are really tight and really windy. However, they are great for long stretches of road like motorways, dual carriageways, things like that. So that's entirely up to you, that's personal preference. That, if you're ever unsure whether that's on, you can see the same symbol is in the top right hand corner. So if I just turn it off, turn it back on, depending on whether you want it on or not, that's the button you press. And then you've got brightness of your dash and your headlight adjustment there. Okay, let's do the stalks first. So the right hand stalk does the windscreen wiper, so you move the whole one to do the front windscreen wiper and you twist the end to do the rear. Then you've got the left hand stalk, up, you know, indicators as you'd expect, down for left, and then you've got your lights here as well. So you can see there's a little white triangle telling you which one you've selected. So at the moment it's off. Personally, I'd leave it on automatic, but it's entirely up to you. You can also see, as I'm changing the light settings, it is also coming up on the screen there as well. Okay, so if we turn it, we'll turn it off for now, but it's entirely up to you. Again, you can put the lights on like so, and then you've got your fog lights there as well. Okay, steering wheel then. You've got a couple of buttons on the steering wheel, so what do we got all together? We've got cruise control, oops a daisy, cruise control, and information buttons. Okay, so if we push this button here, you can see we can select, again I'm just pushing this one here, you can select 3 different displays for the screen. So personally, I'd leave it on this one. This is the one I like to have it on. It's just got your miles per gallon and things like that. That's your sat nav. and that is your lane departure warning, which again is the button that we were talking about just down here. Okay, so if you wanted to see the car, there's 2 white lines either side of it, I think you can see. Basically, if it detects the white line, that little line either side will colour in, and it will fill up white to show you that it's found the white line, if you're interested. Personally, though, I'd leave it on drive information. Now, if you're on drive information, you can then use this bit here, this little button here, and you can cycle through a few different options. So you can see on the right hand side, you can see it's in like a selection menu. So like so, there's a couple of different things you can have. Fuel economy, accumulated information, driver information, miles per hour, and the urea level. Personally, I like to leave it on, not that one, the miles per gallon, but it's personal preference. I'll let you play around with that. You can also see how many miles of fuel you've got left at the top there. Do bear in mind that this will change depending on how many miles per gallon you're doing. Now I'm doing 28 because I'm just sat here with the engine ticking over. Okay, so that's those 2 buttons there, and then again these are to do with cruise control. So if we press that button there, which is the mode, you'll see it now says cruise in the top right hand corner. If we push it again, limit, push it again, it disappears. If you've got it on cruise, and say you're going 50 miles per hour, you can then flick this little thing here. You can see it says res and set. Push this down, and that will set the cruise control, and it will tell you where the 3 dashes are in the top right hand corner, how fast you're going. Okay, and then you press that one to cancel it, and then press that one just to press OK. Oh, sorry, that one's to do with those as well. So if you're selecting a menu, you can press OK. So that's your cruise control. So I will just turn that back off again. If you've got more questions about that when I come, just let me know. Left-hand side of the steering wheel then, nice and simple. You've got your 2 hands-free telephone options. So you've got answer and decline. You've got your voice activation controls, which you can just push, and you can tell the car to do various tasks. Best to play with that one. I won't show you that one now because it's very loud, but you've got voice activation, volume controls, and then this is to do with if you've got the radio on, for example, and you wanted to change from radio 1 to radio 2, you could use this, and that lets you select the radio channels. Okay, same with if you've got a USB stick plugged in, you can change the tracks using that as well, and then again that's the volume. So moving on to the screen then, you've got the main screen here. So you've got sat nav, radio and trip information, but if we were to click on map and just press cancel on that, if you click on map, you can see it fills the screen now with your sat nav. If you press home in the top left hand corner, that will take you back to the 3 options. Okay, if for example you wanted to put a destination into the sat nav, you press the nav button, and then this gives you all the different options that you can play around with. So you'd press address, and then you'd put wherever you wanted to go, postcode, or you can type in the city, for example Southport, and then again, oops daisy, again you can press the home button and that will take you back to that screen. So have a play around with them, but the sat nav, you press the nav button and then you've got a pile of different options there. Okay, seek and track is the same as this button here. So if you want to change the track or you want to change the radio station, that's how you do that. For example, if we do just press home quickly, if we then press radio, it will turn the radio on and it will take up the full screen with the radio option. Now if we press home again, you can see the radios there. Turn the volume up. Again, you can do the volume on the steering wheel as well. To turn the radio on and off, if you've got it there, you just push the knob in like so. Okay, and then I will turn that back off quickly. I think you found this out when you were playing around with the car anyway. So you press media and that will take you to the USB stick, but obviously we don't have it plugged in right this second. And then setup is essentially your settings. So you've got your phone connection, vehicle, navigation, data and network, general media, a couple of different setting options there if you wanted to play around with it. So for example, vehicle, you can play around with the lights and the door and things like that. Okay, but have a play around with that and see what you think. You could just leave it as it is if you wanted to. And then the right knob allows you to change the frequency. So if you remember I was saying, so radio, you can press that to change the radio stations, but if you wanted to tune a particular frequency, you'd use the knob there on the right hand side. Okay. Then we've got hazard warning lights and central locking. So if I push that, the doors will lock. If I push that, they'll unlock. Aircon, so you've got your fan speed there. You've got your different modes for where you want the fans to be blowing, and you've got your temperature on the right hand side. Below that you've got your power outlet, USB and fast charging USB for your phone, for example. And then you've also got your gear stick to put it into reverse. There is a little trigger on the back, up and left, and you can see the rear camera is working. And then you've got your automatic stop and go. So the automatic stop and go is the thing that cuts the engine out when you're in traffic. In order for it to cut the engine out, you need to put it back into neutral, and then when you put it back into gear, it would boot the engine back up again. You might find that if the engine hasn't got enough, if the car feels it hasn't got enough charge in the battery, it won't let the automatic stop and go work anyway. If you don't want it to work either way, you just push the button and an orange light comes on and it will stop working. Okay? Yeah, that's pretty much, at a glance, every button in the car. If you do have any questions, let me know when I arrive, but otherwise I'll see you later, or I'll see you tomorrow, and take care, bye bye.